And we're here. What is up, ladies and germs? God damn you and your small hands. I swear to God. You know, you have no time. I mean, like, God, you have got all this, like, just pent up energy and extra time on your hands because I wouldn't even have time to do that. Like, yeah.
Well, with my job now, I get freaking bored at work. So.
Yeah.
You can't just go doom scroll on the toilet like a normal human.
I'm getting ready to take like all this Hot Wheels stuff like to work just so I have something to do during the day.
Will that go over well with the management staff or what?
The management staff starts drinking at 1:30 in the afternoon. You tell me.
Oh, okay.
You're good.
There you
go. Chad's not going to ask for a resume.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do I get that gig?
1:30? All right.
Yeah. Literally, when I did the interview, I'm in the office and there's a mini fridge that was like next to me, and it was stacked with probably about 12 different kinds of bottles of alcohol, like on top of the mini fridge. Then all the mixers like are in the fridge.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I like you.
Shaking his head like he doesn't have a fridge stacked either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but
I haven't got my fridge yet.
I hardly ever drink at home.
Well, I don't. I mean, I keep hearing nagging things from doctors about drinking and alcohol and stuff, so I kind of have to curtail that nowadays.
There you go. Okay, so a couple of things. If you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the hey, we finally have power in Texas edition of Powershift. Last week couldn't have done the show from my house because we had no power here. Because #Texas. If I want the power to go out, I just have to walk out of my front yard and go.
You're not the only one that got weather. Don't act like that.
Yeah, but you had power.
I had tornadoes too.
Yeah, but not hit your house. It's fine. I can see it behind you.
Brian,
I had neighbors with trees down, and that didn't happen to me either. I didn't have a tornado. I didn't have any damage. I just didn't have power for 5 days. Yeah.
Brian,
Yes,
do you remember that bar we went to in Texas after we were at?
Yes,
Little
you
River?
sent me that video twice, dude.
Oh, well,
Yes.
okay. Twice. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. No. So there's a bar that me and Wickham went to in
Temple.
That was Temple.
Yeah.
And he's got like somebody's Tesla door cam level of the tornado just coming straight at it, straight through.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
Which
awesome.
is second only to the car's dash cam in Nebraska that saw the entire building just F right off into the wind.
But
Yeah.
the owner of that bar, from what my mom was telling me, she was on vacation and came back and found toys from the daycare that was next door in their walk-in cooler.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean,
Nice.
the park store you used to work at when the Twister hit in 2021 out here, it had the dumpster from Sonic bashed through the entire building 4 or 5 times.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
I'd say it is what it is. We can't do anything about it, and storms are going to do what storms do. But Lycan, glad you are joining us. Jet Black Barn, Larry Myers, Ralph Gregory, chiming in from the Roswell Air Races 2025.
What?
My understanding is that that the Reno Air Races are no more. Is that true? They're going away or gone, or this is the last year or something like that?
They've been gone for a couple years, as far as I know.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. Jeff Hayes in the house. Jeff, chime in. Why are you in Southern California moving dirt again? Because that's what it looked like, at least in your Facebook post pictures, was that was California. Haley in the house as well. Okay, I get a lot of junk sent to me, and I have to tell you that most of the time it's annoying, especially if it's from Wickman. But on occasion, I get something that truly entertains me. And I have to say, RTC did it this time when he sent a email out to a group of us that said spare parts. Okay. And I have to tell you, I am so making one of these for the new shop.
Oh, I have seen that before.
Bullwinkle. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. That does it for me. I'm going to put one of those up inside the shop. I love that. Like, that's way cooler than a real moose or deer or whatever. Like, that's so rad. I love it right there. That's great.
I know I've got a pair of Schofield headers that I'm
Yeah.
never going to use. And it's like I saw that and it's like, I'm going to do that. Like, I
Yes.
know I may do it here if
You
I get
need
my
to.
stuff.
Yeah,
Just
so
a-
small block Chevrolet headers, looks like a small block or big block oil pan, and then some other, like probably a Ford pan or something. A diff cover. I like the spider gears as the eyes, and it appears to be just a couple of washers for the nostrils. I think this thing is greatness in every way, and I love it when people make cool things out of other stuff. So it's good. I can see that there are like ears up here. I'm not sure what those are made of. I don't care. But it's awesome. I love it.
Probably
Oh.
fan blades or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
Normally, I'm not somebody who's into this, whether it's real or fake or whatever. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
I'm for this only for the fact that this is going to scare the shit out of children faster than the actual head ever would.
That's true. That is true. Ralph Gregory says that the last year, 2024, was the last year for Reno Air Races.
Well, it was. Okay.
Yeah. So and so I guess now Roswell is where they're going to do that from now on. So there you go. Yeah. So Bullwinkle, I totally approve of this. Speaking of approving of this, I have a stamp. I need to go get it at some point. I have a stamp that Lorinda gave me that is me going like this, and it just says approved, and it's a stamp, like an ink stamp, you know what I mean? And she got it for me on Amazon, and I'm like, hell yes. So I'm going to start stamping everything. Well, I mean, if I approve it, you know. Oh, can't hear you, Crosby. You're no noise.
Nah,
Cannot
Is he on the
hear
time
you.
delay again?
it's California again.
No, we can't hear him at all. I don't know.
He's probably got a reboot.
He'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so tonight's subjects, though, one other current event thing that I want to show or refer to is actually, let's see here. I forgot to pull it up first. So I don't know if anybody anybody saw this, but a couple of weeks ago in Southern California, there was a Toyota 4Runner that a dude was sitting in, and it exploded.
Oh,
yeah. I was going to try and find the video again of it actually exploding, but I can't find that right now. But it was. Oh, here it is. I think this.
Wait, you found it?
Nope. No. I just keep getting the aftermath videos. Earlier today, I watched the actual explosion, but now I don't see it. Anyway, it pissed me off, and McTaggart's in a group chat with me where he heard me bitch about this earlier today. But what are you doing?
Hey, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, Crosby. Okay, hold on. Whoa, wait a second. I have to tell you that I just need you to answer one question for me, Dave.
Who are you talking to?
Are you making Derek into a mini trucker for us? Please, God, tell me it's so.
No, come on, man.
A 1935 Ford is pretty mini by today's standards.
Damn it, man.
He has sent me like 4 links to mini trucks while he's been here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah, if he doesn't own a hard body or a Mazda or a D50 within the next 2 weeks, I'm disappointed you did not do your job, Dave.
I did
the
that he would drive a B2200 extra cab.
Yes.
But we are going to have to school him on why the B2600i is what he wants.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
Yeah.
So let me explain to you the ways of Courtney Holloway.
Shit.
This is you have to go way back in the mini trucking days, my friend. So
Courtney.
Yeah. So how are you boys doing? Everybody join in right now. Poor McTaggart. I'm surrounded by mini truckers. Since you guys are here right now, we'll jump forward in the show. We were going to talk about the Aztec 200 and a little bit of Power Tour a little bit later. But since you guys are here now, and I know you're on short time,
busy.
Dude, did you watch the Aztec 200 episode?
No, I've been working on this crappy 35 Ford truck.
Wow. You're saying Derek can bring something
nice. He's letting you use his tools.
I lit the place on fire.
It was. Have you guys ever seen an acetylene tank explode?
No. Timing all of a sudden.
Wow, we were just talking about propane.
We haven't either until today.
Yeah.
It was pretty good, actually.
Really?
And you lived to tell about it?
It wasn't an explosion. It was a little fire. No big deal.
Are you at Dave's shop or wait? No, you're at your shop, Derek.
Yeah, we're at my shop.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
You know, my equipment is top notch and really maintained. Right? So
Hey, you can't say that in jest because a lot of it is. Just some of it's not so much.
Yeah. But no, we're rocking, man. Dave's been working like a rented mule. He's kicking butt. He's got a 9-inch hanging in this thing.
Yeah, we put a Lincoln Versailles rear axle in this thing.
Whoa, fancy!
Rear bag in it. So we're doing some stuff.
And it's going to Power Tour in hours. Yeah.
12 minutes.
Yeah.
If we can put it on 4 tires, and I've got a different engine transmission sitting in it right now. So I think we'll just like scoop it up, roll it off, and say, ta-da, we tried. And it's there.
Yeah, there was a little story on that. Once upon a time, Mike Chartis was shooting a vehicle that I'll go unmentioned for the cover of Mini Trucking Magazine, and he sent the owner to go to the auto parts store to get a upper radiator hose because none of the electrical or anything was done for it, just to make it look like there was something going on in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, this will be right there. We should probably get a radiator hose coming.
Yeah. No, this is a lot. We got into this thing, and it's actually a full rebuild. I mean, it needs wiring harness, brakes, fuel lines, engine, transmission, drive shaft, rear end, 4-link, front suspension, seat,
Wheels, tires.
gauges, wheels. I mean, that's
So it's fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be good.
So as long as this thing, it's going to kind of lay out in the back pretty good when I leave, and it'll have all Ford power. So
Yeah.
no more shop cats jumping on cars. It's not going to have a Mopar engine or a Chevy rear axle anymore. It's going back to Ford. So it should
Oh,
be
nice.
Cool.
Oh,
Nice.
Shop cat.
Shop cat. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Don't hit.
Dude, I have to tell you, my favorite thing with the shop cat was when it walked around on the Jeep.
Oh, yes.
We almost lost the shop.
I've got to tell you, I laughed out loud watching that.
I couldn't believe it, man. And I was like, it learned because its paws were like paint. Like,
Oh, you painted that truck.
yeah. And then the cat, I like floated
Uh-oh.
cat prints.
Really?
So I said, no big deal. I fixed it. More gooder.
Mm-hmm.
He did the same thing.
And of course, it was the cat that doesn't have black
Nice.
claws.
Right?
Yeah,
Cats are special.
dude.
They
Yeah.
can't be beat.
So did you name
Yeah.
the Jeep Cat Arena or something like that?
Yeah,
No,
right.
I should have. We don't really have a name for it. We just call it the beep, I guess.
The
Yeah.
Beep.
That
The
thing
beat.
needs to be called traded in on, on the JL. That thing's kind of,
I'm like, how's this transmission, Dave? He's like, yeah, that's the worst one. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you picked the worst factory Jeep you could have
Yeah.
picked. Like if it was sitting next to a flat fender that was stock, you'd still pick the flat fender.
yeah, I'm learning these things.
Yeah.
He's like, everything is terrible.
Yeah.
Maybe the radio's fine because it's aftermarket, but everything else is.
That's all right. He's decided that an Imperial is a wonderful project. We'll pay for your therapy for like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I got to tell you that it's funny because I've never personally owned a Jeep, but I've driven lots of them. And I was recently driving one similar to yours when we did our failed try and drive at home Chevette scenario. And they're so weird because they feel like they steer from the rear axle.
Yeah.
That thing,
Mhm.
the whole front end feels like it turns instead of you following it. It feels
It's
like
almost-
it's like floating in the air. It's weird.
Almost like four-wheel steer.
somehow we just about put this thing on its side in front of the VFW earlier today.
Oh, nice. Were you going for VFW happy hour?
No, we went next door to the one of the greatest restaurants I've been to.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
The floors were it
Sticky?
was like Gorilla Glue.
It
Was
feels like
spread around
prep
on
at
the floor.
Bristol. I mean, it's
Oh, really?
yeah.
Wow.
I got a gift card though.
You did.
They charged me for food we didn't eat. So the owner comes out and says, "I don't know how to do that. Just I'll hook you up next time."
I remember who you
Everything's-
are.
Everything.
Yeah.
As he's looking at his fingers and then going back to put some chicken wings in the fryer.
Nice.
Pretty solid.
You gotta love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That cracks me up. So in all reality, do you think you're gonna make it with this thing?
To Power Tour?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We'll be there. We're gonna have like we'll have the Cat Farm Crew Cab, which is recently chopped to a short bed, and it looks
Yes.
rad.
What?
Yes, it looks
No.
great.
It looks really good.
And then we've
You
got
didn't know that?
it just happened. I sent my truck to volunteer to get the exhaust fixed. It was rattling, and it came back a short bed.
Oh wow. You
Yeah.
know, hey,
Sounds
Dave
about
I know
right.
people
Dave
that wish
knows
that
how
would
I feel
happen.
about old beds.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It looks way better. That truck's cool.
And then we'll have the dually, the volunteer dually there. Dave put bags on that actually on
Yeah.
Roadworthy Rescues. We'll have that there. And I forgot we have Longmire, the 65 C10. Might be bringing that. But I'd love to also have the 35 Ford on display. People love that truck, running or not.
Right.
People want to see it. It's pretty rad. It's got a really neat style, and the paint is
It's pretty cool.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's got a good look. Plus, we'll have
That's
it laid out on running boards. So
Now, are you
Which-
just doing the Nashville stop, or are you doing any other?
no, it'd be June 11th at what's it called? The Super Speedway?
Yeah, the Nashville Super Speedway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only stop we're going to do this year. But we felt bad we weren't going to hit all the other stops because of my schedule. So we actually got a vendor spot like in the midway or whatever you call it. So
Oh, nice.
you don't have to chase us down in the parking lot somewhere. We'll be right on vendor row at Nashville, and that's where the trucks will be sitting and everything. We'll have merchandise and bobble pops and all that stuff.
Right. Nice.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, there's so many people that are going on Power Tour this year because it's the 30th and, all of that. So there's like all this craziness going on. And, now there's rumors as to whether or not, this could be the last one. Like people, I don't know where this rumor mill started, but, people are saying this because of all the stuff that's gone down with Hot Rod and, Discovery and all the things. But dude, Power Tour is one of their biggest things of the year. They make money at this,
Yeah. Yeah. Things might change. I can't say too much about it. Things have changed on the back end as far as like attending for me personally.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's for the worse. I think things will definitely maybe be a little bit different, but I don't really know that they can just turn it off. It's such a culture at this point.
Even if they were to, I think somebody will scoop it up and just go with it.
Right.
Well, yeah, because FM3 is the company that's putting it on, and they're the company that puts on all the LS Fest events with Holly and all of that. So, they're already doing that. I can't imagine that they wouldn't, jump on board. Somebody would have to,
It'd be kind of like the Dragon Drive events where, there was one, then all of a sudden it's like you got all the spin-offs. So, someone would do something.
Yeah. What is it now? 58 of them or something now?
Yeah, exactly. In my opinion, too many of them.
There's what, 3 of them this month
You've also had a
alone?
hand in creating a lot of them too.
I know. I agree, but I think there's too many of them that are a week long now. I think we need to be doing 3-day ones, which is what I want to put on. That's what I want to do. I want to do my own event. I want to do it here in Texas. Actually, and honestly, it's probably going to end up being nearer to you because we've been talking with the guys at Bowling Green and about doing it up there. So, I want to do a weekend one where it's just Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of thing. Because people can maybe do 1 week-long one a year, but people can't do 3 or 4 of them, right? They can't take that much vacation,
No, it's not realistic.
You easily talk your way into a 3-day. You can't really talk your way into a week of vacation.
No.
Shush.
No, exactly.
Down.
Okay, so Derek, your timing is perfect though too. There's so that you can have some property on the West Coast. Okay, I got you something. I got you a deal. Okay, this is a screaming deal. All right, we can have a lot of fun here. Okay, so I want you to just look at this and be open-minded. Okay, are you ready?
Okay.
For $2.2 million, you can buy Willow Springs.
What?
Oh, jeez.
That's it?
What?
Hear the tone in Derek's voice.
I know. Look at him. He's like, what? Yeah.
That tone says a lot without saying a word.
It's 600 acres. It's a lot of acres. Have you ever been to the big track at Willow?
Yeah.
That's like 300 single wides.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, like thousands of the single wides. Yes.
Well, you want to have privacy lots for race car haulers and stuff. You see where I'm going?
True. Yes. So this is, for those that are watching that have never been, Willow Springs is a couple hours north of Los Angeles. If you're looking at this facility here,
just follow the sound of exploding meth labs.
Yes, but this here is the big track at Willow. It is one of my favorite road courses on the planet. This turn here is turn 9. It's way sketchy. You go this direction, it's scary. The streets of Willow are up here.
So the streets of Willow and the big track?
Yeah, everything. The entire facility is for sale.
What about the hills and the
I was
backside?
to say, like, is there trails up in the...
Yes. My understanding is that it is the entire facility in every way.
Wow.
So
2.2 is kind of cheap.
Doesn't
for
that seem? Yeah, I'd say because dirt tracks sell out here all the time for like 500, 600,000, and it's
I know. I
just a
agree.
little dirt track and a hot dog stand.
Right.
What's on
This
there?
is historic race course.
Is it eminent
So-
domain or something? Can it no longer be a track, or there's got to be something going on?
Because
here.
that's like the price.
It's way out in the middle of freaking Redmond or
is.
Rosemont or
Have you ever
Yeah.
been to Tennessee, James?
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
It's not. That is not in the middle of nowhere.
right.
Well,
So
California
It says-
standards, it's the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
it says the total tax assessment is 2.253,440. But yeah, it doesn't.
I don't have that kind of money.
Oh.
I don't either. I mean, I have $2.2. We could probably GoFundMe that though. I bet we could GoFundMe this bad boy.
Yeah.
I don't want to live there though either.
Well, I don't want to live there either. That's the problem. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful deal for somebody. I hope it doesn't go away. You know, I hope someone does something with it. There's
I
going to be
agree.
some 90s NASCAR guy that gets bored. And
Jimmy Johnson, El
Yeah.
Cajon.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Stewart ain't doing anything anymore.
There you go.
Well, he's
Yeah.
supposed to be selling off all the NASCAR stuff. So
He is. They're selling everything. $22 million is what I heard. So something like that. No, for the for each of their NASCAR licenses or whatever.
Oh,
So that's what you actually sell is your license for the TV stuff that you get paid. So
So is
Apparently.
Tony Stewart just going to be doing drag race stuff now?
yes.
no, he's got Eldora.
Well, yeah. But he finally learned that the most fun you can have is going straight at 300 and some odd miles an hour. You know, he figured it took him a long time, but he finally realized what fun really is. So, you know,
Which the dream at Eldora is going on right now, and I'm here with you guys.
the what is happening?
The dream at Eldora.
We're not holding you back.
No.
Yeah, you can go at any time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
See ya.
fine. I mean, here, we can show you what it would be like. See? I mean, it's totally fine. It's fine. See?
Screen's better now.
It's
Brian,
just
how's your
it's
sixth
Thursday.
grade going?
I mean, there's Friday and Saturday, so it's not a big deal. So it's just qualifying.
The 5-speed deal.
Or
It's
5
in, yeah, it's a TKX swap. It's moving. As long as I don't do anything dumb between now and then, you'll see it in Nashville. I'll be in Bend Row as well.
Sweet, man. That's great. I'm glad that
Yeah.
went pretty good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Since you're here, because I was not aware, your goodies will be in a bag coming with me.
Yes. Show him that diamond in your left hand there.
There's a few. So
What's the plugs for the back of the heads on the 302?
No, I didn't know that.
if you follow Derek, you know that Derek
Good
recently
morning.
saved
Price
a.
for Imperial.
Oh, nice.
What year
Yeah.
is that? 80. What year is yours? 83?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's only a few years old.
Like
Okay,
it
let's say
matters.
83.
So I managed to find two of the last pentacrystals that I have.
Isn't that
Those
crazy?
are nice.
They,
I
at
would
least
just have
one of them
earrings
should
like
go on
that.
one of the glowing bits behind the door.
Yep.
And then the last thing I have, because I don't know what I'm going to do with it, I have one of these crystal keys that were.
A diamond key?
Yep.
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
Can you see the
And is it
Facebook
uncut?
post there?
Yeah.
Completely uncut.
Wow.
You ought to just
That
have
has
Leo
to be
like
worth
make it-
tens of dollars to a Moparman.
Man, it's crazy. These parts on these cars, like they're getting very like you would assume. Oh, I can just find the digital display for this on eBay. Well, you can, but you're going to pay $1,700 for a
Really?
questionable, could work display thing that doesn't tell you anything but the
That's why
temperature
we
of the
modify
floor.
cars. We don't restore cars.
So
Yeah.
here's the
Yeah.
thing. When Derek first put up the first teaser picture of this on Instagram, I texted him straight and went, "Enjoy it. I'll pray for you."
Yeah.
'Cause I own mine. I have mine about 8 years. I love the way they look. On the outside, I love that body style. There's nothing you can do with that chassis without skill and money investment. And you're right. They're the parts that make it Imperial and Imperial of that generation.
Oh.
Jesus.
Insane.
Well,
Insane.
and I will tell you that all of you here that McTaggart knows this, but I want all the rest of you to witness this. On the day I die, I want all of you to remember that I would have lived 2 years longer if McTaggart hadn't owned the Imperial.
Right? Right?
Uh,
I hear it every day.
I have 2 years of my life worth of stress, I guarantee you, from that car. God.
This lawn gnome in the K&M hat keeps texting me that I should have bought anything else.
Yes,
I don't even
anything
think he likes
else.
to charge it that
Jesus.
much. I think he's just playing that one up.
At some point, I'm just going to find a good Chevrolet when I have like $4 to rub together, and I'm going to hand it to him. It'll be
Tell
great.
you what, you find a mid-70s shovel-nose Camaro that is worth mentioning that you can both make the Charger disappear for a good figure for and drop in my lap, we'll talk. Until that point,
I know where
Deal.
I know where a sweet turbo TA is.
Oh,
no. I've seen the episode already.
Hey.
Good try.
Hey, I know where there's a badass Mustang too. I'm just saying.
That one's not for sale.
no.
Not for
It's not for
sale.
sale. I will say
Is
that
it?
is badass. I just don't fit in them.
Right.
I tried Dylan's Mustang 2 out last year.
Okay, so Dave, are you going on Power Tour?
No, I got to go home and go to work. I got to be there Monday at 7.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me, how close is the hard body to like driving it all the time and everything, or are we there yet? We just don't know on video.
No, video is up to date on where that
Okay.
track's at. Basically, I've got to do rear shock mounts, and I picked up all a whole air ride system from Ride Tech.
Yep.
So it's going to get their tank and compressor and whatever E-level thing is they sell.
Yep.
And then I basically just got to do like the passenger front fender well and get it to where all the wires aren't hanging on the tire, and then the thing will drive. And the goal is to take it to the Gambler 500 in Bend on like the 20th of June.
Nice.
And Tate has been storing one of those really cool like Honda Elite scooters in my garage. Come get it, so I'm going to take it to him.
Nice.
So
You got a reason
like
to go.
and I need a truck to take it in. So
I like that.
on the other
Perfect.
hand, I did just buy a Dodge D50 on Friday before I showed up here.
What
So,
year?
80. It's an 80 D50 Sport orange with the stripe package. Come on,
Loaded.
loaded.
Dude, you know I'm I'm a Mighty Max guy, but I'm an early round body like that guy. I have mine. I have an 86. Mine's a Ram 50, but it's that round body. I love that.
Yes,
Dude, how
Yeah.
nice is yours?
it's yes. It's,
Yes.
It's actually really good. I got hit by a Buick in the 90s, so the left front fender and the driver's door are a little wanger.
You shouldn't lead with that. You got to lead with it has air conditioning and
It
70,000
does.
Yeah,
miles.
right. See?
It has air conditioning and 70,000 miles and bucket seats and a center console. It's got a tack.
Yeah.
It's got all the things. It even has dealer installed cruise control.
There you go. So say
No
that you have to go.
way.
And then I got took out by you.
And
Yeah. See? That's it. Yes, Derek. Yeah.
The art of selling the car.
Right.
Chad, I
Dude,
sent him
so-
I found something on Facebook Marketplace. I found a guy in Wichita Falls that is parting out 3 of them and
Yeah.
was willing to ship parts. So
yeah, those things keep popping up to the pull and save by my house. So I should be able to find a door and a fender. I really think if I can find an orange door and fender with the stripes on it, that would be ideal, because I really don't want to like restore this truck. I just want to bolt things on it, and that would be cool enough.
Are you going to lower it a bunch or no? Just a little or what?
Holy
Wow, the sun is out now. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
That was all right for us. I'm going to lower it a
Bright
bunch.
light.
But I'm not bagging it right away. It's getting cut springs. It'll get blocks
Yeah.
and pulled leaves and air shocks and a small C-notch.
Yep. That's
So-
how mine was, my original. And that's, I ultimately want to body drop mine and bag it, but we'll
Yeah.
see. I got a lot of projects, so
Yeah.
we'll see when I get to it.
I just want to slam it and drive it and get stuck
Yeah.
on some bumps and not know what to do about it.
So perfect.
You're really
That's what
convincing me
we-
to drive a small trucks. This is really good.
Dude, that's the thing, Derek. Like when I know that when I was a kid and I had my first mini truck, like if you didn't drag coming in and out of driveways or over every speed bump,
Yeah.
you didn't have a low truck at all. Like if you could just cruise over them straight and it was fine, like your shit was not low. Like it had to drag. If you didn't have to check the fuel tank and stuff underneath to make sure you weren't grinding through it, you didn't really have a low truck, you know? So yeah,
Huh.
how it worked.
Yeah. It was fun. It was like, I mean, rock crawling's the same. Like that's how I got to like learn how to pick lines was from driving the mall and the roller skate land and like doing the circuit down at Mission Bay. Like that's how you pick lines.
I love it. I love it.
The
That's
infamous
so good.
circuit, Mission Bay. Yeah.
The best practicality, you all.
You know what we didn't pick lines in? Pontiac Aztecs.
Yeah.
Derek ran over everything in his Pontiac Aztec.
Really.
Spoiler alert.
It was no, I'm not. There's no spoiler alert. I will tell you that if you've not gone out and watched it, you need to go subscribe to O'Reilly Auto Parts YouTube channel. Episode 1 of the Aztec 200 is out. We had a really, 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 really good time doing that. And I mean, I know I've told you this already, Derek, but thank you so much for including me and Adam. We had a great time, and it was so much fun. I cannot wait for the next one, dude. You got to keep us in the next one.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be bigger and better. And the problem is, I wish I would have thrown together a budget sooner because we should have scooped some up before this was released because I'm already seeing the Aztec prices
Are they?
start to come the
Yeah.
You know, maybe make next
They're
year
up to $12 now.
200 or something.
You would not believe. Google Pontiac Aztec for sale. It's going to blow you away how much they cost. We could have had a fleet of third-gen Camaros out there. But
100%. Yes.
It's crazy.
What was funny is Chad posted the thing about the video, and the next thing scrolling through Facebook was a Pontiac Aztec for sale for like $17,000 with paint job and full stereo.
Yeah.
It's
Here's the thing about the Pontiac Aztec, though. And I am saying this out loud. It is a great car. Okay, now when I say this, it's uglier than Sin Dipped in Misery. Okay, but it is, the drivetrain in it is good. The features it had in it, dude, it has a cold snacks box in it made into the console. I mean, come on, right?
Yep.
It has a bitchin' stereo that you can control from the back. It has all of this great SUV stuff that is super trick. It just looks like you glued 4 Pontiacs together to make the nose. It's bad, you know?
Yeah, I actually walked away with a new appreciation for. I thought they were all gonna. I shouldn't say too much because I don't want to spoil it, but I thought they would all be blown up within a lap.
Yes,
but those things were tough.
Yeah,
like tough.
I will tell you, people, because this doesn't let anything out. Me and Adam got in 2 of them after the race was all over because Derek said, you guys deserve to go have some fun too. And we just jumped in them and went around the race course. And I will tell you that after running about 7/10 on lap 1, going into the rock piles for lap 2 at like 9.5 and going out onto the backstretch, I will say that I went, as I'm doing the Swedish flick, I thought, I'm wearing flip-flops, shorts, and no helmet right now. This is not smart. I need to slow this. I need to back it down. Got to back it down a little bit. And brought it down to like 6 or 7/10. And Adam was like, why'd you slow down? I'm like, because we're dumb. That's why.
Okay.
Because it was way more capable than it should have been where we were at.
I just realized what I have behind the computer. I'm reaching over. You're not going to believe this.
Oh, wow. On cue. You see that?
Yeah.
Dude. The Pontiac Aztec Custom. And does that say K&N on it? It does. What was...
I didn't know they committed to making those into Matchbox cars.
I can't even tell.
I
Yes,
love that.
They came in on it.
I'm
You know,
laughing because I just put the K&N hat on. I wasn't even thinking about it, but we had the K&N backstretch. We had like all the different, remember all the things I named everything on the racetrack.
Chad, we actually did science on that because we proved all the 3400, 36, 3800 series engine guys really need to tune into this because I think we already know I have the slowest car, right? That's out there, or truck. What are these things called? SUV, crossover, Starbucks thing?
Crossover.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. What that thing did on Nitrous
is
incredible.
Oh yeah.
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 You guys, it's a must see because now everything that runs bad around here, I'm like,
put nitrous on it.
It just needs a 50 shot,
Yeah,
and then it'll be regular.
Yeah,
fine. It'll be regular, exactly.
Yeah.
See, look, everybody gives me a hard time because I tell everybody every vehicle you own should have nitrous on it, regardless of what other power adder you have. Because that way, if you're like, man, I really just need a little more, you throw some sauce at it. And that has been my mantra for years, and everybody gives me a hard time about it. But would you own an Aztec? If you had a beautiful, factory fresh, gorgeous Aztec, would you not put nitrous on it? No, of course you're putting nitrous on it. Now you know how much it loves the nitrous and everything.
There's so many other vehicles that have that engine. They all want nitrous.
Yes. Yes. Yes is the only appropriate answer.
Yeah.
Well, Chad and me had that talk about nitrous with the LS build I got going on. So
yes,
yeah, I'm sold.
Wickman is like so overthinking a 450 horsepower LS build. I'm like, dude, out of the junkyard, pressure wash, camshaft, little tootaroo, and that thing will last 70,000 miles. And when it breaks, you don't care because it owes you nothing.
Right.
You're going to crash the car before the motor blows up anyway, Wickham.
Yeah, that's true.
You roll a car one time and everyone gets on you.
Oh, roll a car, have a railroad tie go through the windshield.
Car?
I mean, whatever, all the things, yes.
I was going to say, never mind your truck has multiple personality disorder just by looking at the body panels.
That's true, too.
Oh,
my God, those are some great sunglasses there, Dave.
They're vet pipers.
Oh, my God.
They're what? Vet pipers?
What gas station did you get those at?
Vet pipers.
What gas station did you get these at?
I don't even know.
They're pretty solid. They were my gift. It was like instead of mints on the pillow.
They had pork feet and alligator jaws pickled by the cabinet, and then these for sale, and I just had to get them for them.
Yeah, in Tennessee you get sunglasses. So.
Somebody's wandering around a casino pissed off that you can't find those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
just need to see the wind pants that match them.
Look at the splatter paint on these, though. I think they were hand painted at the liquor store.
Dude, I approve of that. Okay, Neil, who is also vertical, compared to the rest of us, says, can Derek fit into a mini truck? An extra cab he can, yes.
I would go for the S10 extra cab, the square body.
Yeah, the square. I like the squares. I did have an S10 mini Blazer thingy. Does that count?
No.
No, that's not a mini truck.
See, I have one of those also, Derek, but that's not a mini truck. I mean, it could be a mini truck if it was built right, but no.
I'll make a deal with all you guys. If you find a silver Mazda B2200 with maroon interior and a 5-speed, that's clean. I'll snatch that puppy up in a heartbeat.
Okay, silver maroon interior B2200, aka 2600i. Yes. Then me and Dave will handle the suspension to make it be what it needs to be.
And then we'll drag the gas tank off of the Perkins parking lot or whatever you guys do.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No, we've grown up. We relocate the gas tanks now.
Oh, okay.
You might.
That's worry about the oil pans on the B2200s because I went through a couple of those in mine.
Do we get like a windbreaker or anything cool? Like when you're like
No, it's not like that. Well,
complimentary.
I was going to say mullets, but see, mullets now aren't right. Like they were a mini trucker mullet back in the day was a different thing than the mullets now. It's like when we were growing up, there were mini trucker mullets, 5.0 mullets, like IROC mullets. Like they were all a little bit different. You could identify a dude's car just by the mullet. Now it's weird. I don't know.
So I'm
Because
gonna.
it wasn't weird then.
Well, yeah, but we didn't know it was weird. Now we're intelligent enough to know it's weird. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mullets, plastic pants, neon colors. No, it wasn't weird
Yeah.
at all, was it?
No.
What's weird
No,
is
no.
looking back at all the old mini truck run pictures, there wasn't a black shirt in sight.
Nope.
Good point.
All white T-shirts,
Yes.
which is something that like we need to bring back, man.
How do you keep it
And
clean?
You don't even worry about it. They can be dirty.
Oh, okay.
see,
But they
but
were-
Derek and I are Derek wears dark colors. I only wear black. Like I don't own. I shouldn't say that. I own 2 shirts that are not black, and one of them we just bought so I could go to my son's wedding, and then where I still wore Dickie shorts, by the way. And then the other one is a gray shirt that has blue letters on it that look like they're made from blue tape. That is Safety Third Racing. That are some friends of mine. So otherwise, black. Because if you're in a drag strip, you can't do white. That sucks.
If I got a
So-
white one, that's
Living
like,
in a shop, I can't pop a t-shirt.
Oh no, you would never. Yeah.
if it was pre-stained, I would be
I
interested.
mean, I wore a light gray
Oh.
today, and this thing's barely dirty at all.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I was doing back spins in the grinding dust on the floor of this. With a little bit of
Yeah,
ATF
that
on
was the thing,
floor,
too.
you can really get it
Me
going.
too. You go to a truck run or a truck show, and all the white T-shirts, you would always see, I don't know how many of like red Kool-Aid stains,
Yeah,
right there in the middle,
Yeah.
from a past show or past run, from
Well, see, this
From the
is what I'm talking
1,800 gallons of jungle juice we all drank. Yes.
If you had the ATF smear in the back, the Cheeto wipe right here, ketchup, taco sauce, some like
and then the Vice Grip logo.
over
Oh,
here,
yeah.
and then wheel bearing grease, like the
Yeah.
hand.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
but
It has to be the red, super sticky red wheel bearing grease too.
Yeah, the disc
Yeah.
brake high temp stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then it smells terrible. Then you're like,
Oh, it would be appropriate on the other sleeve to have some caked on silicone, the blue RTV
Oh,
that won't
geez.
ever come out.
Hey, silkscreen guy, can you build that up to a quarter
Yeah.
inch?
make it crusty and stuck like this.
Yes, it'll work. Oh God. See, now here's the thing, Derek, that you missed out on back in the day at these truck runs is that like at Resolutions in Southern California, they had hours where the gates were open. And then after a certain time at night, I think it was like, 8 o'clock at night, they locked you in. If you weren't in, you were out, and you could not leave unless there was an emergency, like ambulance had to come. And you cruised the entire grounds with whatever beverage you wanted in your car.
Yeah, the cops also got locked out at 8 o'clock. So it was
Correct.
It was awesome.
Interesting.
It was awesome.
Well,
Yes.
except for the security guards, Dave.
Oh, they were fine. If we could elude the security guards. So James and
Don't move. They can't see us if we don't move.
James and had some shenanigans at Rezo in '98 out at Lake Dolores in California, where we broke into the water park and we shimmied up this pole.
Allegedly broken.
No, we broke right into
Oh,
there.
okay.
Well, we broke in.
All right.
We broke in.
Statute
we, like,
Patience is up. It's fine now, dude.
We're good.
we broke
Oh,
in.
it gets better.
We made it through the fountain that had this Harley on a pole that was like 12 feet up and shimmied up it and like got our negative camber logo on the side cover on this Harley.
No way.
Dave got away. I ended up in the fountain hiding from the security guards.
Yeah, man.
That's pretty good.
Troy and I left your ass.
He's a smart guy. I would have bailed.
Well, it's bad a couple years before that when Rozo was in Chino in between.
Oh, God, I was there.
Going out there trying to go out and like seeing if cow tipping was actually a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The last Rezo I was at
No,
was, I
tip
think, at the San
dairy
Bernardino
cows.
County Fairgrounds.
Was where?
what at San Bernardino County Fairgrounds or Paris or one of them?
It was probably Paris.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was
that was
like
Paris.
95 or 6 or something like that, maybe.
Something like that. Yeah.
I don't know. But God, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Booger, weren't you driving Brian's minivan when it got stuck up to the axle in the cow manure and just wiped out that brand new 3-spoke Colorado Custom?
No, I was not driving, but I do remember the wheels getting just scratched to shit from the
These wheels this was in 97, 98.
96, 97, yeah.
Billet 3-spoke Colorado Customs, fully polished. Buried that son of a bitch to the axle, just wiped all the shine off the wheels.
That was
Dave, were you at West Coast that year when Courtney borrowed the Fleetwood and they hooked Davy's trailer to it?
I think
You
so.
remember when it was doing wheel stands going down Rice Road? Captain was losing his mind.
It was
Just with all the tongue weight?
Yeah, the tongue was like...
Yeah, Courtney pulls in. He goes, "Hey, backs up."
Yeah.
And he stands on it, and the front wheels came about that far off the ground. They threw Captain out of the motorhome, put him in the other truck.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We're going to die.
Yeah, because that was when we took it back to... He rented it from a place in Riverside. And we had to drive out there and drop it off. And it was kind of like, drop it off, here's the keys, get in the truck and go.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
well, he borrowed that Xterra too.
Yeah, he had that yellow Xterra in like '99 before they even came out. Yep.
We had Daddy stand up on top of the motor on the bowling ball joke and started to riot.
Oh, I was there. I was part of it. That was some. We got in some serious fights that night. That was.
Here's the funny thing about this, though, Dave. I can like half of these stories like don't even remotely like phase me whatsoever when Crosby is talking about them.
No, it was.
But when you are included in some of those, you are the most laid back dude ever. So when you're like, "Oh man, the fights we got into that night," I'm like, "Who are you? What?"
It was crazy. That was the night that Daddy's boat got sunk, and then we like grabbed the pitchfork, like rolled that dude up.
He stole that the keg from those guys that pulled in with that other club.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh crap, this is like Budweiser or something," and kicks it back and it rolls up against their truck.
Well, this was a truck show where our club, Negative Camber, and Daddy's club, Severed Ties, we had gotten in too much trouble like for the 4 years prior.
The fence.
So they put us on our own island thinking that we wouldn't get in trouble. And then it was
didn't work.
It didn't work at all. It was
It sounds worse.
We had our own just wild island of like feral mini truckers, and
because everyone wanted to come over.
Everybody came over. It was a party spot, and then it was just crazy. It backfired so bad. We got kicked out of the council after that, and I don't think Negative Camber's ever been back in the mini truck council. Which
I remember when that happened.
Yeah. Bob Hayes, remember the sign that Bob Hayes hung up on the gate? Said "Enter at your own risk."
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I still have our banner, Dave. I don't know if you can see it.
I can't see.
Negative Camber, Severed Ties, World's Slowest Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Well, there's the boat ramp. They were right by the boat ramp.
Yeah, yeah.
It was downhill. Then there was a little dock. Someone ended up putting some type of quarter pipe out there. Dave shows up with like a $20 bike from Walmart.
That was my bike. Yeah.
All of a sudden it's like you see Dave just go whizzing by, goes down the boat ramp, hits the dock, hits the ramp, and just goes flying out in the water like, oh shit, like that's a thing. Like, okay, I gotta try it.
Lake jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I used to always pick up a Walmart bike on the way to the truck run, just
I feel like I'm an
because
accessory to
I
something.
have
Just
something else
listening
to get around on.
Did you fish them out of the lake afterwards?
Yeah,
or-
we
oh.
would tape 2 liters of Purple Passion to them so they'd float.
Oh, of course. Duh. Yeah. I knew that.
Oh, that was the only place you could get Purple Passion was that last gas station there in Parker. Going to,
Yeah.
Jeez.
Do you know what Purple
God,
Passion
I
is?
can't even. The
Can we-
amount.
Can somebody explain Purple Passion to Derek?
Was it like Orange Crush with purple?
No.
No.
No, this sounds considerably.
That was a
more-
lot of groaning.
I'll go. I'll
Okay,
go.
you go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Purple Passion is grape soda and Everclear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's made by Everclear, and it's called Purple Passion. And
Why would you endanger the Everclear in the water?
no, after you finished it, you tape it to your bike, and it acts like a
okay.
bib.
All right, I thought we were
And,
fighting.
and wait, and Everclear also, just for those watching, there are 2 kinds of Everclear. There's the Everclear that all of you people think is Everclear that you've drank, that you can buy at regular liquor stores around the country. And then there's the real Everclear that is like 98% alcohol, and it is so high that it is not legal to sell in most states. But the way that we would get it in Southern California is because military guys that were in truck clubs would go to the military store, whatever the hell they call that on base, and pick it up, and they could get the real pure stuff, which literally was like 95% alcohol. It was insane. It
Park arrestor over the opening.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so dumb.
It was like moonshine, except tasted nasty.
Yeah,
So-
I
would
got asked
go
to do that
a
run a
truck
couple of times. So
I would go to a truck run, and I would like stop at Walmart in Lakeside and get like a giant bag of beef jerky and a giant bag of Doritos, and then I would go to Parker and buy 3 2-liters of Purple Passion, and that was it for 3 days.
Yep.
That was all I did. 3 days, and my nickname Little D the Dance Machine. It was on.
Uh-huh.
Definitely sounds like you're in front of
and
the
dude-
military people. That sounds like my usual weekend for about 10 years.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing, too. You would go to a truck show, and there would be about, I'm going to say 20% of the people at the truck show who showed up and had like a tent and sleeping bags and those kinds of things. Then there was another 20% that had at least like a sleeping bag and some other stuff. And then there was 60% of the people who brought 0 things to actually
Face down on the
live.
ground.
Yeah, and you just laid under the back of a truck or in the bed of a truck, or like, I mean, I can't tell you the number of times we somehow lived through the night sleeping inside a pickup bed with a tonneau cover down on it. Like,
Oh, God.
you know, and the only thing I can figure is that we were so drunk as to be so near comatose, we really didn't need that much oxygen to live for the night, you know? It's fine.
well, that was
fine.
the infamous pissing incident at Spring Splash in '94.
Um,
Oh, infamous.
Is this a Wikipedia? Can I look this up? Or
Courtney Hallowell.
What have
Okay.
I done? Who am I talking to?
yeah,
Courtney
I'm
Hallowell
sold. I'm
passed
getting a
out.
mini truck. This is all I needed to hear.
Here's the problem.
mini truck, but I'm enjoying the stories.
Now you see all these guys heading out to like Maggie Valley, North Carolina, and it's just a bunch of gold chainers like towing their trucks behind.
That's
their
true.
trucks.
Yeah, what the hell is up with that shit?
It's so
Dude.
dumb.
Because even if you had the fanciest body dropped badass cover truck, you
You drove
drove it to shows.
yeah,
Like
it was
100%.
I've pissed off so many people in the past year with comments saying, and they post a video or photos, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, your truck broke down. You had to tow it home or to the show."
Right.
Oh yeah, that gets them livid.
it's crazy. It's changed. I always said that we like mini trucks were our generation's hot rods.
Yeah.
And our
Uh-huh.
generation has become last generation's hot rodders. They've become the gold chain, like crying baby in front of the truck, like the real truck show people. It's like it's really
became the people we made fun of when we were in our
yeah, exactly. It's really weird. It seems like it's lost its grit a little bit. Like we need to get the younger generation to like come back and show us how it should be done.
Well, do you ever notice that when you see a feature video on like a bagged and bodied or laid out full size or mini truck, if the video or the photos show that thing railing down the highway with a giant shower of sparks, you ever notice that the guy who owns that thing is 45 to 60 years old? Okay. Yeah. It's not the 25-year-old. That kid doesn't rail it. That kid lays it on its nuts and idles it around a show, barely dragging. We were the guys that if you laid it on its nuts, then you did that to do burnouts because the thing was sitting on the ground. Like, that's not how. I mean, my 56 Chevy station wagon, like Crosby and Wickman and McTaggart, no, like that thing's on air. It lays the body on the ground. It lays the front bumper on the ground. I have railed that thing, the front bumper on the ground for miles at a time, shooting sparks 100 feet. I mean,
Eric doesn't get it. He's lost.
Yeah.
He's like,
you will when you do it the first few times. You're going to be like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." It is. It's
my green truck. I railed that thing going to Rezo that year, towing the black truck on the trailer.
Yeah.
There was sparks coming all the way underneath the trailer.
My kids, when my kids were little, like Crosby knows this, I would have to go turn around and go, give me the damn remote because I wanted to kill them because they're in the back seat playing with the air ride while we're going down the road like all the time. And I'm like, dude, we're in town. Like, you cannot rail this thing in front of the police station. You know,
yeah. It's bad. It's a bad idea every time.
Every time. It is not legal to move it while going down the road.
Derek, when you see Cole asking about Ding Dong,
no,
Ding Dong's funny.
Yeah,
Ding Dong's funny. It's totally family friendly. Ding Dong is not weird. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It is.
I don't know about you, but this is like outsider looking in because I think you and I are in a similar realm where it's cars on dirt as like playing Dukes of Hazzard. Some of the stuff I've seen you do, I know my background's Western Washington, gravel fire roads. I was taught to basically pretend you're Bo Duke and throw it as sideways as you can, as long as you can.
Yep.
Until you find the ditch or pull out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get that I'd like to do that stuff, slide around with gravel and snow and all that. So I'll drag some.
I grew up in the country.
This thing's going to lay the tire in the fender well. We have yet to build you something low enough.
We'll
Bad toothless.
Well, I sent this to Chad a couple days ago, but March 24th to the 28th, there is the GM tailgate tour. It's all GM trucks.
They just had it this year too. But yeah.
This is going to be the.
You need a beer?
I gotta, yeah.
I'll be back.
Anyway,
he needs a brown liquor. He needs a brown liquor.
But it's starting in eastern Tennessee and going to Myrtle Beach over what?
Oh, wow. That's quite a haul.
5 stops. But my daughter, there it is.
So do you have to change bumpers on the way? How does this work? Like, do you grind your bumper off and then get a different one, or how?
I mean, you could, but my bumper is a 56 Chevy, so it has bumper bullets, and the bumper's upside down, so they drag. So they're solid now. Like, I've ground through them enough that then I made solid bar stock and welded it back on there, and you just keep adding to them. It's fine.
Can you have just
we call that self-clearancing.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. What about just like the rusty square body that barely runs?
Perfect. That's the perfect thing to lay on its nuts.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, I'm not actually putting something on the ground.
But I'm notorious for destroying balances on no matter what truck it is.
That is true.
That
is true.
Look what I got Dave hooked on.
Hey, Dave, tell Derek about the drag wire.
Good man.
Hold on. What is that, Derek? Show it again.
Moonshine pickles.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, shit.
The song from earlier today.
Yeah.
The first one, he was like, I don't really under 9 in. He's like, these are really good.
Yeah.
I get it now.
I love them. I'm a
They're-
fan of moonshine of
These are
most
amazing.
flavors, and I like pickles. So how can you not like moonshine pickle?
Do you want me to
Dave, tell Derek about the drag wire.
Which part of the Jaguar? Are you talking about?
Well, when he showed up and it still had the pinch molding on the bottom of it,
You're gonna have to tell
right
the
after
story.
Dave Oaks showed up with his freshly body dropped. What year was that thing? Like an '84, the 1-ton crew cab.
Oh,
Yeah,
the one
And
with
we
no
asked
roof.
him about the pinch. What's that?
You're
Yeah,
talking
that's the
about
one that got the
Daddy's
roof
truck
off?
that ended up being the blue and white one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he drug the pinch weld off of it. He said it'll self clearance.
That's pretty.
So we just called it the drag wire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
That truck ended up being nice. I think it was just K200 at that run.
Yeah, but it went through like 3 or 4 different owners, didn't it?
It was around. That
Yeah.
truck was really cool. I liked the fact that it was small block swapped. Like it was a
Yep.
crew cab long bed square body Chevy dually that with a small block in it. And that thing
I think
hauled
it came with a small block in it.
Really?
Yeah, there was a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of small block.
That one came with a small block in it.
Is that the
I
same
had-
one that Finnegan owned?
What's that?
Is that the same one that Finnegan owned? Or did Finnegan have a different one?
I don't know.
That was
if
a
anyone
different one.
ever had a body
Okay.
drop crew cab. I don't.
You might be thinking the ramp truck or something, maybe.
No, Finnegan did have a crew cab dually that was lowered to pull his first boat around.
Yeah.
But
No,
he had a lowered one. It wasn't body drop though.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure Daddy had this one, and he owned it for like 15 years. It was body dropped and then painted and then drug it, and then I think it still got repoed. It wasn't paid for.
That's awesome. That is great. Okay, so here's also a sign of the times how different they are. I remember in the 90s, and I know we sound like old men when we're saying these
Shut
things.
up. I'll chug the juice.
Paper tag
I
truck?
remember-
Talking about paper tag trucks?
No. I remember in like the 90s and like late 90s when you would see Craigslist ads all the time that were like, I have this lowering kit and a set of billet wheels, and I'll trade them for stock stuff because I got to return a lease vehicle.
Oh yeah.
That was a normal deal, dude.
Yep.
Dudes would return a truck that was notched and everything else because they had leased the thing, and
Yeah.
that was the only way they could afford to buy it. Oh yeah,
My green truck was a lease vehicle
it was.
originally. Yeah.
I remember when we did, our friend Joey bought a 96 Toyota Tacoma.
Oh, yes.
Our first one on the lot, 96 Tacoma. Bought it, leased it. We immediately step notched it and airbagged it. We airbagged it on leaf springs, and then like even did the like torch trick on the back of the leaf spring to like kink
Kick
it.
it.
And so that thing was leased and cut to shit, and then went to Rezo. Then we brought it back. We painted it Kawasaki green, shaved the door handles, shaved the third brake light, body dropped it, like did it to the nines, and then he sold it to the Japanese, and he had to pay the lease off like after they had already taken it to Japan, and the check cleared, and then he had to go and pay off his lease so that he could send him the title.
That's awesome.
And I think at the end, he's still like, he didn't make a dime out of any of it. It was
Right.
It was crazy.
Sounds about right.
I think you're right, though, Dave. This one would be pretty awesome.
This
Fine.
car, see, this was a rescue car, right?
Yep.
Ooh.
So this thing, like,
What year is that thing?
65.
Okay.
Yeah. So our buddy Chris Anders had one of these. He had like a what was his, an Imperial? That was-
Newport.
Yeah, to Newport on hydraulics. So these things are a torsion bar front end. They're really weird suspension, but you can put them on hydraulics pretty easily and actually get them on the ground. Like airbagging them, you got to build bags off the upper. This thing, like low in the front and dragging the bumper in the back, would be out of control.
Oh, I agree. And I'm a fan of a convertible. Like, I've owned several convertibles. I have my 69 Camaro as a convertible. I love a good convertible. And if you lay the thing out, and especially a big car like that, dude, come on. That's awesome. I'm a weirdo. I either want no roof or a long roof.
Yeah.
I never had, this is my first convertible. I never really got it. Never.
Oh.
Now, we were driving to town the other day, and it's like, I think I'm understanding this convertible thing.
It's a good car. It's
never
like,
put the top up, dude, ever. Just never.
There is no top, so it's not going
perfect.
Yeah.
You should get in it and go. And what you will find is that those old cars were so much better than new ones, new convertibles. New convertibles have all these windbreak bullshit to keep you from getting all buffeted. Because the car is so aerodynamic with the top up that when you put it down, it's horrible. But like my Camaro, you can have a normal conversation in that thing going 70 miles an hour down the freeway without the wind like beating you up. Those things.
You actually have to open the wing windows to get any air on you with the top down.
Yeah.
It's hot. It's pretty wild.
They're awesome.
Shot on it, or does it have the frame? Or
no, this is a unibody car. It's a.
Does it have like the convertible top frame?
Oh yeah, the frame's there for sure. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I drove it 2 days through a rainstorm with a tarp over top of it. That was really
perfect.
Fun. Yeah.
What engine and trans is in it?
It was sold as a 383 727, but I found out quick it was a mid 70s 400, which is pretty rare.
Yeah.
The 727.
The 400 is really good. If you tell Freiberger that you have that, he'll be very excited because that low deck 400 is very desirable for Mopar guys because you stroke the thing and make it a 500. Right. That's like the jam is to make a 400 into a 500 with that combo. So, which I didn't know until I spent way too much time around Freiberger and learned some Mopar things besides Hemi. So
I could be wrong, but I think this has a bigger bore than the 440.
Yes, it does. That is right.
Yeah.
That's why if you do it, it's literally like 30 over in a stroker crank, and it's 499 inches or something. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
499. That's a cool.
I think
that's not 500.
Small, tiny clear.
I don't know. You're speaking Braille to me, so I don't know.
I think you put some gear in it and make enough big torque to do just insane burnouts, and then you just.
Oh, I got to do this thing now. It's got like a 270 rear or something.
Oh,
you got to brake stand it, but once it lights off, this thing will wait for 100 feet. I mean,
I can a good dude close by that does gears.
Oh, nice.
Nicely.
The 373 in this would be amazing.
It will be. We just put. So we did the swap of my car. I drove it once with the 241s that were in it, which sucked. We put 373s in mine. The first ring set died after 8 miles. This dude backed up to work, checked everything out. Solid people. If you want, I'll send you information.
Okay, great. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But you put some gear in it, that thing would be a monster. That's awesome. I love it.
I'm trying to sell it today or trade for a mini truck, I guess.
No. Not for sale.
Are you kidding me? As soon as we get done with this deal, I'm just finding mini trucks and sending them straight to Derek. Yeah. But let me explain to you, Derek, one thing. I'm not just sending them to you because if I send them to you, you can deny that you got them. So I will copy Dave on them as well so that there is proof.
Believe me, there's plenty of them up by me. I'm in the land of Mazda pickups. Apparently, like the Mazda dealer in Spokane or Post Falls, Idaho was like the busiest like import dealer in the country because there are so many Mazda. What, dude? I bought my Maz Grande
Yeah.
90, it's a 91 V2600i 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Like super clean. I bought it for $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, by the way, what's the thing you just got? The 2-door Trooper? Isn't it a Trooper or
Oh
what?
yeah, I got a Trooper RS. That thing,
Dude, that thing is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it will be. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm the kingpin of oddball imports at the moment.
That's good.
Pretty
That's good.
You need more red vehicles in the yard.
No,
More red vehicles. Yeah.
I got 4 red things right now.
Red.
Yeah, it's
Red.
good. But
Yeah, there you go. Take it
My
home.
my Mighty Max is red. It's the only red car I own.
yeah,
Hey, Chad, I just got a message. Jessica made us spaghetti.
Nice. Okay. Go
Sweet.
eat spaghetti. Tell Jess I said hello, and hug the boys and all those things. And I appreciate you guys joining us tonight. It was fun.
Yeah, no, this was great. Thanks for having us, man.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Again sometime.
All right, no problem. We'll do it again for sure. Dave, always good talking to you, dude. Keep it up. The channel is awesome, dude. Seriously, I enjoy it thoroughly.
Bye,
thank you.
Dave.
Yeah.
Eric.
Peace
All
out.
right.
See you guys.
Guys,
See
be
ya.
good.
Those guys are great. I have to tell you, and the Derek, like you see him right here, that is how he is all the time. Like he is so much fun. McTaggart knows, he's been around him a bunch. He is one of the most genuine dudes you will meet. And I know he's super famous now and all those things, but he is the most humble, thankful, like just nice guy to be around. He's like incredibly generous. I can't even tell you
He
all
is
the ways.
freaking hilarious.
Oh
on
my
that
God,
show.
he is. He's so funny in general. Like he's such a smartass, and like in the most like just that do kind of way that he's got. You know what I mean? But the dude is a rocket scientist when it comes to stuff too. Like he's a badass. He makes stuff happen, and we'll talk more about the Aztec 200 when like the next episode shows, because there'll be things we can talk about more. But let me suffice it to say that the only one that did any suspension changes was Derek, and I was right there encouraging him on all of the perfect ways to do it, and you will totally approve.
I saw like because it showed like I guess in the opening sequence they just showed
Yeah.
like little snippets, and all
Yes.
of a sudden I see someone welding like a piece of flat steel to the springs, and I'm like, oh no, this is not good.
Oh, it's perfect in every way, my friend. It's great. It
All
is
right, I got an
great.
idea for the next one you need to do, Chad.
Okay.
The Zuzu death match.
Do what?
Because the Zuzu Trooper death match.
Oh yeah.
Because those things would be on their side in a heartbeat. They'll
Oh,
fall
my
over
God.
in a tilted parking lot.
Yes, you ain't kidding. I got to tell you, there's a lot of fun that we had. Now, also, I got to thank Tucson Dragway for having us there. If you guys have never been, that's a great place. It's like 6 hours from LA. Has the coolest looking tower in the entire country. Has the Speed Sport dragster down the side of it and stuff. It's super awesome. They have not one, but 2 bars at this little tiny racetrack. And they are, and so like Derek had been there a bunch of times. I've been there a bunch of times. Most of the other people had not been there a bunch of times. Jim Hughes, whose family owns Hughes Performance, is the guy who runs the racetrack and owns it. And Jim and I have been friends for a long time, and he's a really, really, really good dude. And so, I went and opened the bar and turned everything on, before we were done to make sure everything was ready to start pouring beers. And we got done with doing our filming on the first night and our first afternoon. And Jim comes by and goes, "Hey, do you need me to open up the bar?" I'm like, "I already got you, Jim. We're good." He's like, "Oh, good. Okay."
Well, it
You
seems
knew
like
where he was? Yes, you showed me last weekend when I was here. So
he's
yes,
like
good.
extremely welcoming to like all whatever type of events that want to come do something at their facility.
Oh yeah,
It's
100%.
just like you would think like other tracks are like, hey, this guy's like might be onto something.
and like, hey,
Yeah.
let's do like something else at our track, and was like wow,
Yeah.
like okay.
He is, I mean, genuinely just a super nice man. And, you know, I live stream drag races there. I've been to a bunch of other stuff, obviously, like duct tape drags and zip tie drags and all the whatever the hell they call it this week drags have been there. They do tons of, events. Obviously, Derek does other stuff with them too, like the Mustang 2 that the Mustang 2 was in the garage when we were doing the Aztec 200 and um, and we were looking at it. I don't think that he had made arrangements to own it yet until we were there and he saw it. And I think that all went down while we were sitting there, working for the 3 days or 4 days at the racetrack because he then flew back whatever a week later and picked it up. But it's he's a good dude. Jim's awesome. The whole staff there is super nice. What's funny too is it's a little podunk drag strip, by most people's standards. It's super convenient to get to. Tons of hotels, stores, restaurants, all the things nearby it. It's in a great spot. It's really easy to get in and out of. Great road to get in and out of. You can get in with any kind of rig of any kind. They have incredibly badass internet there. The only place I've been with better internet is Bandamere. And there's all kinds of cool, they have a cool little restaurant and indoor bar there also called the Nitro Club. It's a cool racetrack. They have great food trucks that come out there. They have a food truck that comes and does these burritos that are no crap. They're this big.
Damn.
They are bacon wrapped burritos.
Oh.
So they make the burrito, wrap it in bacon, and then grill it until the bacon is all crispy good. It's dude. And they have a kettle corn dude there that is a badass also. Like, it's great. That racetrack is cool. And it's like 15 minutes from the airport. I mean, it's super close. And there's all kinds of restaurants and hotels and everything close by. And that's without even getting into like Tucson proper. Because Tucson is like where Arizona State University is there, right? So ASU is there. And I mean, there are tons of restaurants and bars and cool stuff in the downtown area as well. So I highly recommend going to Tucson Dragway.
University of Arizona's in Tucson, ASU's in Phoenix.
Yep.
Say that again.
Yep.
University of Arizona's in Tucson, then ASU.
Okay, U of A. Okay, there you go. There you go. I knew one of them. I couldn't remember which.
Yeah.
I went there with Peyton because she was looking at going to school there. So she got accepted there after high school. But it's a great town. It's a cool place. It's an easy drive, and yeah, you can't go wrong for sure. So okay. Next topic I wanted to touch on is, and I assume you guys all saw this, but the one and only Mr. Parnelli Jones passed away this week, and that was a sad day, dude. Parnelli Jones. He was an awesome dude. He drove a lot of different things, road race cars, off-road stuff. Actually did a little bit of drag racing too. I actually went to college in San Luis Obispo with a guy named Dave Wolf. Dave was really good friends with PJ and Paige Jones, Parnelli's boys. And they grew up together in Rancho Palos Verdes. And so I got to know Paige and PJ through Dave. And, they were awesome as well. And their dad, I mean, all the stories, were insane. Like, it was hilarious, and so, it's crazy. And like, I remember when Paige was in a really bad wreck at Eldora, and was in a coma and all kinds of stuff. Had a very traumatic brain injury. And I remember his recovery. I remember, Dave rushing down there, to get there and everything. It was crazy, but the entire Jones family, from my experience with them, they were awesome, right? And super nice people. I have to say, like, my favorite Parnelli Jones story was we were at the NHRA museum, and for those of you that aren't from Southern California, you may not realize this, or if you're not long-time bang shifters, you may not have seen these videos, but we used to go, and by we, I mean me, I would go down and I would film these panel discussions that they would have at the NHRA museum, and they were usually like on a Wednesday night or whatever. And
Yeah, where is that?
yeah, they would have these panel discussions. Like, they might have it before the national event, and they'd have like John Force and a bunch of top fuel drivers there or whatever. Or they, would have a panel for some specific reason, sometimes centered around something else that was going on at the museum, but sometimes just because it was cool. So one of the ones that they did was a bunch of Cobra drivers who were there in the panel, which was probably 5 or 6 people. And they were talking about the anniversary of the Cobra, or whatever. And it was funny because there were a bunch of different, dudes that were there, including, my God, his name just went out of my head. The SoCal Speed Shop guy that just turned 100, like last year or whatever.
Alex Exadius.
Yes, Alex Exadius. Yes. So Alex and several other dudes are up there, and they're talking about the Cobra. And Parnelli is there, and he is like, down toward one end. And Alex and some others, they're all talking about these things and what they were like to drive. And Parnelli goes, "Quit lying. Quit lying." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Dude, we don't race for them anymore. We don't have to lie. They were an ill-handling piece of shit." And I am filming, and I am dying. I start laughing. It's funnier than hell. It's like, you got to be kidding me. He's like, "These things sucked." He goes, "They were junk." He said it was a good thing that we didn't have tires that were worth a damn back then either, so you could just drive the thing sideways the whole time, because they didn't do anything else well. Blah, blah, blah. He was just going on and on and on. He goes, "We were too dumb to know better." He goes, "Nowadays, we know better." He goes, "These things were horrible." And I mean, the entire place was laughing hysterically. Now, at the time, I had only driven a couple of Cobras that were like, kit car Cobras, and they sucked too, because they were all trying to be like the factory ones or whatever. Later on, I drove a real one at the big track at Willow, as a matter of fact, and it was on the OG bias plies, like they ran, and it was horrible if you tried to drive it any other way than to trail brake it and to the wood sideways, letting it 4-wheel drift, like all those things. Not drifting it like tire smoke off the rear tires, but you had to let it slide around because it did not handle well. You just had to like get it sideways where it was pointed right off the corner, and then it would hook up and go. Like, that was how you drove the thing. And it was hilarious. So I love that I got to, be there for that. I love that I, knew his boys. I haven't talked to them in a million years. This was in a former life, but Parnelli Jones, dude, one of those guys that really, really changed the performance world in a whole lot of ways. And so sad to see him go, but cool dude with a great history for sure.
I was reading something this past week. It was from Colby Garowitz, Mark Garowitz's brother, the guy that has the Van Gogh Ford Econoline van and built the St. Christopher 34 Ford.
Oh, yeah.
he was talking. He was going on in his post that he met this girl, and she asked, "Hey, would you go out with me to this barbecue I got to go to? I don't want to go alone. I don't want to be there long," sort of thing. And he reluctantly said, "Yeah, okay." And goes to this house and comes to find out it's Parnelli Jones's house.
That's cool.
Like, kind of holy crap, and ended up like talking with him like the entire day. She was just like pissed off because it was like oh crap, it's like I'm stuck here now because it's like this guy's like that I asked to go is like all of a sudden like best friends with Parnelli Jones because
right.
There was like no car people. It was like a family thing. So it's like you get a couple of car guys around and that's what they're gonna talk about. So
right. That's awesome. Well, Dave used to tell all kinds of stories about the Jones family and like stuff they had. And so I had forgotten about this until right now, but so Parnelli, so the Jones family and the Kazarians, I'm pretty sure it was the Kazarians. And I think that the kid that Dave went to school with was Zach Kazarian, if I remember right. I don't know how I can even remember this right now. But anyway, the Kazarians and the Joneses lived, near each other. And the Kazarians had money and they were into boats. So then Parnelli got a boat and they had boats and they would constantly trying to one up each other with their boats. And they were going out to whatever lake they could go to anywhere in Southern California. And they kept getting kicked off the lakes because they're doing like 130 mile an hour across the lake in these boats, and racing each other like all the time, apparently. And I totally forgot about that until right now when you said like going to his house. But because Dave used to talk about how they had like, they both had like cool lowered custom dualies and stuff to pull their boats and, like everybody did. And the only thing they ever did was haul a boat with them, So, yeah, it was cool. Yeah, neat old stories.
That's crazy. Like all of those dualies are like popping up for sale now in Lake Havasu for like for like cheap.
I don't know how much truth there is to this, but tell that Parnelli is not his real name. It is
Rufus Parnell.
It's Rufus. Yep. Yes, it is.
Yep.
It's Rufus Parnelli Jones. Yes.
No, it's Rufus Parnell Jones.
Parnell.
Okay,
Parnell.
Gotcha. Yep. I know it. I knew that it was Rufus. So yeah.
Yeah. It was at Bonneville with when they I think either when they blew the car up or when they set the record, one or the other. He was up there. I think he was hanging out with Mickey Thompson.
Yeah. He won the Indy 500.
PJ was the first one to win the very first truck race, too. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think you're right on that, actually. Yes, that's right.
At Bakersfield. I was there.
That's cool.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He's done. He's done Indy. I think he did drag racing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Racing. He's an all-arounder.
And Paul Gibson from Firestone helped Parnelli on the Bronco.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
At Baja. He's got a big old burn on his arm to prove it from this.
So it says here that he was nicknamed Parnelli by his boyhood friend Billy Calder, who hoped that the Jones family would not discover that their son was racing cars as a 17-year-old minor. So literally that's what he went by so that his parents wouldn't know it was him. His first race was a jalopy race at Carroll Speedway in Gardena, California.
Is that like JP Lippincott Jr. or what?
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yep. That's so funny.
Seemed there was a
lot he ran at Indy for the first time in 1961 and was Rookie of the Year. He was the first driver to qualify over 150 miles an hour at Indy in 1962. And then he dominated the first 2/3 of the race until a brake line failure slowed him down, and he settled for 7th place. And in 1963, he started on the pole and won. Yep.
Damn.
I was going to say, I think it was 64. He and Eddie Sox got into it, and he laid Eddie Sox on his ass.
That's awesome. Yeah, he had some cool stuff that he did. I mean, he did a lot of road race stuff too, like SCCA Trans Am racing. He did a bunch of that, and Cougars, all Ford stuff, you know. Actually, I shouldn't say that. He was mostly Mercury and Ford stuff. But he was, you know, one of those guys that he raced in a million different things, you know, and that's pretty cool. You know, I mean, I love that. To be honest with you, like, these kinds of people don't exist anymore in racing, because these guys all get like where they only do one kind of racing. Like, if you look at Tony Stewart, he's one of those guys that's raced a jillion things.
He's an oddity nowadays, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No.
He is. It's weird. Mm-hmm. Like, he does that. I mean, there are a couple of guys, but it's not like it used to be. It used to be that, you know, NASCAR guys were racing a bunch of different series, and they were, you know, also then going to Baja, or they were doing Trans Am or something else, right? And they don't. Now they stick to the one thing. And in fact, a bunch of these guys now are precluded from doing anything else, you know?
Well, Kyle Larson, I think, is the only
there is another family that started out in dirt track stuff that is now heavy into drag racing, Pedregon.
Oh, yeah.
They were dirt trackers back in the day.
For a while. Gary Skelzy's kids, Gio, and I can't think of his the other kid name. They run wing sprint cars. Gio,
and because they're up in the Central Valley in California, and that's where their business is. If you're watching and you don't know, Selzy bodies are like, you know, utility bodies for trucks. That's what Selzy Enterprises builds, and they have for a long time. They're a very big company. And so they, like Gary, you know, was into circle track racing and then drag racing. But, you know, when his kids were young and starting to run like go-karts and stuff like that, there were two reasons from what I've heard that he got his kids into circle track. Number one was because it was at the point in his career, he was getting fed up with drag racing. And number two, there where they live, there just wasn't a drag strip anywhere nearby. Bakersfield was the closest drag strip, which was less than an hour away, but they don't run a regular program there. So that wasn't really an option, but they're like 855 dirt ovals in Central California. So
yeah, I think they were running Ventura and Antioch.
Yeah, and then every midget race that ever happened in all the middle, and Chowchilla and all of them. Madera Speedway, all of it. Reading. I've been up at Reading and watched them race. They ran everywhere. So,
Hanford's famous.
Oh, yeah. Hanford's a big deal. Yes, 100%. And in California, like, here's the other thing. I know this isn't the normal. I mean, I know it's some places, but like here in Texas, the circle tracks are their own little things, right? They're just a racetrack somewhere. In California, most of the oval tracks are at a fairgrounds. Like, that's where the circle tracks are, is at the county fairgrounds. And so, like, the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds, where I grew up and where we went to, you know, the races all the time, was called San Jose Speedway, but it was in the fairgrounds. And it's where the famous San Jose Mile, dirt track motorcycle race is, and on what used to be a horse racetrack way back in the day. But it was a 1 mile oval on the outside. And then on the inside of that was I think it was a 3/8, maybe quarter mile or 3/8 mile.
3/8, I think.
Yeah. And it was,
3/8, I think.
We went to San Jose Speedway all the time.
Because it kind of mimicked
Go ahead.
With the big track on the outside, the little track on the inside.
Yeah. It said, oh, wait. It says it was a 1/3 mile. Yep.
1/3? Really?
1/3.
Wow.
Yep. Let's see. It located on East Tully Road from 46 to 77. And then, yeah, they raced every Saturday night there, which then became the fairgrounds. And let's see here. Yeah, it was right next to Reed Hillview Airport and all that. Yeah. Trying to see. Yeah, this is way old pictures and stuff out there. But yeah.
Well, 1/3, 375 is kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's right there. So, yeah. Yep. Yeah, it was cool. So there was a lot of racing that went on there, you know. So, and a lot of guys came from Central California to San Jose Speedway, and from Northern and Southern, not Southern California, because that was a long way, you know. But yeah, it was cool. It was a neat deal out there.
Well, the first time I ever met Parnelli was at Ontario, sitting on the roof of the garage at Danny and Guy. My dad put me up on the roof.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there watching everything. Technically, I wasn't supposed to be in the pit area, so.
Right.
Like, what, 6 or 7?
Right.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm bored. Can we go home?
Right.
Without a clue where the hell I was at.
That's so funny.
Yeah, Kyle Larson is like the only one that's really like doing everything.
Yeah.
He's running No Limit Sprint Car Series, which is, for those who don't know, you have like the World of Outlaws, then you have the No Limit Series. No Limit Series basically runs during the week, where World of Outlaws runs on the weekend. So
yes.
It's like an outlet for those guys and guys from other series to come in and basically all compete together in one place, which has all been centrally located in the United States. So Kyle will run that.
Wasn't he running a Crown car too, though? One of the asphalt midgets.
I didn't.
Or not midgets, but sprint cars.
Yes, or super modifieds. Yeah.
Like a super modified. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was talking.
I don't know.
He did the Indy 500, and he was saying that these guys only race 6 months out of the year. How in the hell can you like do? You got to, for like me, is like there's no way. I'd have to do something else.
Right.
Yeah, you got to be in practice to keep good at it.
Yeah, well, of course, those guys pretty much sit in a simulator doing that kind of thing.
Well, so
yeah, I still don't think that's the same because you need to drive by the feel of your ass. So.
Oh, I agree.
They need to be in the car.
Simulators are pretty insane nowadays. I mean,
well, the expensive ones, they're $100,000 and stuff. Yeah, but dude, I know. It's nuts for sure. There's no question.
But yeah, he was. He got Rookie of the Year award at the Indy 500.
Who did?
Yeah.
Yeah, Larson did. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right, boys.
Well, Chad, you'll like this. When I hit up Will Beatty last night, I go, you want to use the 32 to tow the funny car at the drags? There already.
Do what?
To tow the funny car with the 32.
Oh, at what race?
At Pomona.
Oh, when are they doing that? Because Pomona's all screwed up now because they don't do it at the right time of year. When is the race there?
Well, whatever the number is, I don't know what they're calling it now. Is that the World Finals or whatever?
Is it still? Yeah. Well, they do the Winter Nationals.
No, I got tickets for it.
I thought it went like Pomona, Dallas, Vegas, or something like that.
Yeah. Well, no, now, yeah. So it's, let's see here. The schedule says, come on, NHRA and your shitty website. Okay. So now, yeah, so they start the season at the Gator Nationals, then they do the Winter Nationals in March, then
So
Arizona,
November
then
6th.
Vegas, then all the things. Yeah, and then they still, end the season with the World Finals in Pomona. Yes, so November 14th to the 17th. Yes.
Oh, so the finals are in Pomona. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, finals are still in Pomona, but yeah, in November. It's just they don't start the season with it anymore. So,
Okay.
so yeah, that'd be funny. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, so
Yeah,
that's
well-
right. It goes Vegas then Pomona because they're always in Vegas for SEMA, either the weekend before or after.
Yeah, it's the weekend before. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, or 2 weekends before, I should say, is Pomona. Yeah. All right, boys. Well, that was an interesting and fun show. McTaggart got more mini truckers than he could handle. That's awesome. Dude,
Well,
in all honesty, the crystal things are pretty cool.
We got to have the token Mopar guy around, though.
Oh, of course. Yes. I mean, just to keep it real,
Diversified.
Are you ready for Power Tour, McTaggart? No? You're not ready? Yeah?
I don't know.
Does the car run and drive?
The car runs and drives.
Then you're ready for Power Tour.
Yeah.
All of it cracks me up how everybody has gotten so like, oh my God, we must prep. We must do all the, like, Jesus Christ, dude, it's just Power Tour. For the love of God, it's not race week.
No,
I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, all of a sudden, it's become like it's somehow a torture test to drive your hot rod down a highway. I don't get it. Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. I torture tested the thing for the last 2 weeks.
I was going to say, you're good, dude. Just get in and drive and have a good time.
Yeah,
if something breaks and it doesn't keep you from continuing down the road, then it doesn't matter. Like, just forget it. Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean,
Fix
the
it.
rest of the car's been proven. The whole rest of the car has been proven. The transmission is the only thing that's new. It's been driven across the country before.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's fine.
What trans is in it now?
A TKX.
Yeah, it's been swapped.
Oh.
Yeah,
you'll love it.
Did a whole swap on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a TKX and it has 373s with a Eaton True Track in the back now.
Got one in 32. I love it.
Yeah.
So
I'm putting one in Magus's truck right now.
Like, the only reason you see any concern on my face is because I'm the one who put the damn thing in there. If it gets fucked up, I'm the one who did it. So
it's fine. It's fine. Don't even think about it.
Popped up in chat.
Do what?
Say what?
Crosby, do you see who popped up in chat?
No. Oh, Buick. No, I don't know when I'll be in Indy. When are you going to be in California? I've never seen you out here.
Yeah, there you go.
I have to have a passport to come out here, Buick.
Yeah, good point. It still is in the United States.
Yeah, going.
See all the Mexicans we got here?
I was just in Bakersfield, like this last weekend. And well,
speaking of passports.
Yeah. So I was in Bakersfield, and I have to tell you, I was laughing at something. So everybody always wants to, complain and say that California, everything is more expensive there. And Crosby and I have argued that this is not the case for a while. Okay. Cause there are certain things that people just don't understand. One of the things
is a totally different story, but
one of the things is, so I go and I live stream these races all over the place, right? Well, if I'm flying, I can't carry a cooler with me and all that junk, right? So when I get to town, I always have to go buy a cooler, just a styrofoam cooler, throw some ice and drinks in it so I don't die on a scissor lift, right? Well, normally I go to Walmart, okay, because the styrofoam coolers are so expensive everywhere, including at Walmart. They're still expensive, but they're not as bad. They're like 10 or 11 bucks at a Walmart, right? For a styrofoam cooler.
Yeah.
I went to, if you exit off of 99 North and you exit on 65, which is the back way to go to the racetrack in Famoso, 65 up through Oildale, there is an AM/PM on the right-hand side, okay?
Been there many a time.
Yeah, the Arco.
We stay right there off of Pierce Road, so around the back way.
Yes. So I go to the AM/PM because I forgot to go to Walmart. And I walk in, I go, do you guys have styrofoam coolers? The lady goes, yeah. Points at a stack of them. $6.
No way. Really?
$6. I said, dude, I'll take 2. She was like, what? I'm like, never mind. It's funny. And literally $6 for the same exact brand and everything that I've paid as much as $17 and $18 at a gas station for before in other places. $6 in California.
Colorado.
Yeah, but how much was
what?
The ice?
Oh, the ice was like $2.99 or whatever for a 7-pound bag ice.
Shit.
It wasn't great.
Down here by me,
horrible.
it's like $7 for the big bag.
I go to Buc-ee's to get
Ridiculous.
my ice normally, so you know.
Yeah, they outlawed
Frickin' frozen water, man.
So like even like the Sonic Dream Cups,
Yeah.
they come in plastic cups now.
Oh, no more
What?
styrofoam allowed in Colorado?
Yeah.
That's because it's the land of the tree huggers, you know. So
I fucking hate.
Well, I see that's from your picture this morning, Wickham. I'm sure I'm seeing that all that's working out well.
Oh
Because
god.
that looks like L.A. back in the '80s.
Yeah, that was so gross. Walking out this morning and seeing that, I was just like,
what was it?
Denver.
You didn't see his post this morning?
Big layer of smog.
Oh, really?
It was horrible. It looked like freaking L.A. in like 1982.
because I told you where I'm at. I'm on the other side of Green Mountain from Bandimere. Because like
Yeah.
when you go down the track at Bandimere, you see the mountain off to the right. I live like on the other side of that hill right there.
Right.
And
Yeah,
so that's like the
freaking
highest,
nasty.
one of the highest points in. Where is? No, I just sent that to the wrong person.
Shit, pardon me.
There.
We never did talk about the tools, by the way. Are we saving that for the next?
I know. Well, yeah, it is.
The chat and everybody else left it. It's a miracle.
Do what?
Parnelli Jones.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jack.
what was
getting
that?
a Buc-ee.
Yep, June 24th, right next door to Bowling Green.
Nice. Next door to where?
It's in Smiths Grove, so it's about, I don't know, what, 10, 15 minutes up 65.
North?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
What are you getting?
A Buc-ee's.
Oh, cool.
An benevolent beaver is arriving. Yeah, Buc-ee's.
Our Buc-ee's, like we have one that's it may have opened actually. It's I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes from the property probably.
Well, the one in Hillsboro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was is temporarily supposed to be the largest. Well, excuse me, the largest one.
Oh, is it?
Then the one they're opening up in Luling is gonna be the crown jewel.
Yeah, that's the one that's like it's instead of having 150 pumps, it's gonna have 200 or something, right?
Yeah, something ridiculous. But
Yeah.
yeah, that
Oh
was the
my
original big Buc-ee's, which in today's standards is like medium sized compared to some of them. So
Right. Oh yeah. See, here's the funny thing, Crosby. So the first time we had a stop, oh, I'm sorry, it's 25 minutes from the property to this Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
The first time we ever went to a Buc-ee's on Rocky Mountain Race Week for a stop,
Right.
me and Dad were pre-running the route, and I called Matt Frost from Buc-ee's in Denton, and And I was like, yeah, dude, we're here, blah, blah, blah. And I said, man, I counted because he had said, like, how big is the Buc-ee's? And I'm like, oh, dude, it's big. It's got like 100 gas pumps or something. And he thought I was joking. So then when I got there, I'm like, oh, I said it. I was wrong. It has 126, or I can't remember, but I think it was 126. And he goes, oh, ha, 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 whatever. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it would be so amazing if by some chance we could figure out how to put every gas pump to have a race weaker at it, right? And I'm on FaceTime with him, and I turn around and he goes, oh my God, how many gas pumps are there? I'm like, I just told you 126. He goes, you're serious? I said, yes. And he's like, no way. I said, yeah. And then the car wash at the one in Denton is like the size of a Walmart. And so he's like, holy crap, what's that? I'm like, that's the biggest car wash you ever saw. And he's like, oh my God, it's insane, And so when we got there the first, day when we actually had our checkpoint there, dude, him and June and the boys were in there for like 45 minutes. But he's like, this is the greatest thing ever. And the cool thing with
remember that gas station? That gas station in right there by Westworld. It had the furniture and all that shit in it.
Yes,
the car wash.
Yes. It's totally like that. That is totally how a Buc-ee's is. It's hilarious. And it's one of those things where, like, I mean, I know it's the sensation and they're all over the place and that's awesome. But the reality is it lives up to all the hype. Like, the food is really good. The gas
food is freaking great. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It had some of the best fried chicken there. Oh, dude. Can't remember which one it was. I think it was the south side of Dallas. Where is that one by Dallas?
There's a bunch. Well, now there's a bunch, but there's one in Ennis.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, gotcha.
That's the first one I'd ever been to.
Yeah, and I mean, the barbecue's great, everything is good, and they're always friendly there. The gas prices are really good. Some of them have ethanol-free gas, and it's good. And the place is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The bathrooms are clean. You can take your family in there. Big rigs are not allowed. Only you can take motorhomes and like trucks and trailers and stuff. They sell diesel, but you can't bring an actual big rig in. If it's a motorhome, it's fine, but no, just big rigs, So because it's not a truck stop, like they do not want the image of a truck stop, which is funny because now Pilots and Loves and all of those are trying to become travel centers instead of truck stops. So it's not that, oh, I don't want to take my family into them deal. And they're way better than they ever used to be. And they're much nicer. Like, I like going to a Pilot. It's fine. But,
oh my God. I went to a Pilot in Albuquerque a couple weeks ago when I went down to El Paso. Yeah. I will go to a Pilot now versus like a Love's or like any other.
Yeah.
A Pilot was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're nice. They are very nice. And there were some people talking about on RMRWers today about camping, instead of staying in hotels, and people were going, do any of the racetracks have showers? And people were chiming in and going, hey, you can mooch a shower off of somebody, who's got a hotel room or whatever. And then I also was like, yeah, but also go to a truck stop. Like, you're good to go, especially because like it's Brian Lum, him and his wife are traveling together. I'm like, pay for one shower. You guys both go in there. You guys will be fine. I don't know what the showers cost now, but they used to be like $5 or $6. And if you had like a Pilot, whatever frequent Pilot thing, like you got, showers cheaper and, all that.
I think it was actually called a frequent flyer, wasn't it?
It might have been.
Pilot.
Yeah. And it was, it's like you get 10 cents off a gallon of gas, like, all the things and they're nice. And I'm telling you, I've driven cross country a bunch of times by myself where you just couldn't go anymore and you had to stop and get a couple hours of sleep. And then the game changer is to get a couple hours of sleep and then go to the truck stop and get a shower. Oh,
and a hot shower.
Yeah, you are. I mean, you're good. Like, I'm good another 24 hours, rock and roll, I mean, it really matters. So They do not have showers at Buc-ee's, but they are the cleanest bathrooms you've ever been in, and the whole stores are clean and super nice. You know?
That next light west of Benson from me, before you get to Central, where that car wash was, in that 76 station on the south side. They're opening up a VP station, a new car wash there.
Oh, really?
So I'm hoping they're going to have 93 there. I'm crossing my fingers. It'd be perfect because that's like right here.
I think there's been like a few VP stations that sell like 100 plus, like in the Houston area.
Oh yeah,
but in California, they're limited.
Everywhere in that I've seen 76 stations, VP stations in the last couple of years, even if they don't sell any high test at the pump, they have the cage with them in the pails. So you can buy 5-gallon pails of not every VP, but you can usually get 110, 100. I've seen C16 at some of them, so, you can usually get stuff there, but yeah.
Nice.
Oh, and speaking of end of eras, unfortunately on the Parnelli side, but the other end of an era, our good friends Steve Brule retired.
I know. Brulio is the man. I would love to get him on the podcast. I'm going to see if I can reach out and get him on here.
Hit him
up.
Is
he has time now?
Is he what?
Since he has time now?
He'll have
he's not done yet, but as soon as he does, I have to say, I've known Steve for 17, 18 years now, I guess, and 17, I guess. And I mean, dude, I learned more stuff from that guy being at the dyno with him about engines than anybody ever. Like everybody else combined that I've ever learned anything about engines from equals, like all of them combined equal what I learned.
And besides that, he's just one of the nicest guys to frickin' hang out with.
He is. He's such a genuinely good
human being. He didn't have a bad word to say about anybody.
No, and he's always
cool
fun.
People.
He is incredibly talented engine builder. In my opinion,
and if you got a question, if you got a question, you can call and ask him. He'll tell you.
100%.
He's forgot more than people freaking know nowadays.
So did he own West Tech or
no? No, he just
Rick Stoner owns it.
Yeah. So, but they're
another good guy.
Oh yeah, they're cutting it in half. So if you've ever been to West Tech, it's 2 units with a doorway going between them. That's like a 6-foot wide doorway. And they are giving up or downsizing into only being in one side of it. I believe the right side. The left side they're closing up
because the dyno's in ground. I'm sure they're gonna get rid of
the chassis dyno.
The one
is on the right side. Yep. So they're downsizing. It'll have one engine dyno and then the chassis dyno, and it's the end of an era, And Brulio is moving to Albuquerque, which is where he's from. And where all his family is at, so he's moving back there.
Well, that's where Rick's at most of the time too. So
yeah, that's true. Yep. So they're all from there, and so he's going back, and it's I'm happy for him. I'm sad.
Oh, I am too. I'm just
the end of the era, but I'm happy for him. So that's what matters. Yeah, because I would do anything for that guy. Like literally, he's the best. He is just. And everybody
he's done so much for us.
Oh my God, yes. And one of the things that I don't think people understand either is like Freiberger wouldn't be who he was, wouldn't have a tenth of the knowledge that he does have about engines if it wasn't for Brule. Finnegan wouldn't be into boat racing if it wasn't for Brule. Brule, like literally Finnegan went and was there working for a magazine and built a motor for his family jet boat was like a 455 olds or whatever. And Brule dynoed it and said, "Now, if you ever want to build an actual engine for your jet boat, come to me." And they became friends. And Brule took him to his first boat race, like all those things, and got him into it. And so Brule has cost him jillions of dollars. But yeah, I mean, and Brule,
for all good reasons, though.
Oh yeah, and Brule, like, one of the best things, he's won, I don't remember, like a dozen national jet boat championships. He so the best one was his last one, because his boat had sat at Aztec on the trailer for like 5 or 6 years or something, maybe longer than that, and it was just sitting there forever. It was just there in front of the door, and this thing's ultra lightweight, like a pro stocker, if you will, of jet boats, right? And he wanted to sell it, and somebody said, "Well, you should make it be a runner and at least take it out so that people know what it runs. Like, that's the way you're going to get real money for this thing right now." So he pulled the motor, redid the motor, freshened it all up, freshened everything, put it all back together, took it up to Lake Ming, which is in Bakersfield, and one of their big, boat race tracks around here. Took it up there for an NJBA, event, and won. Hadn't been in a boat in like 6, 7, 8, 10 years, whatever, a bunch of years.
I think it was quite a while.
Yeah, goes out there, wins an event. So it's like, well, shit. So he tells people, okay, this thing's for sale, right? Well, people are like, yeah, right. When you're done racing it, it'll be for sale. Well, at this point, it doesn't cost anything to go racing except some fuel if you don't break anything, right? So he goes back up again and wins the next one. And ultimately, he ended up winning all but one race for the entire season, won the championship, put the thing up for sale, and sent it on its way after, again, being out of the seat and everything else for that many years. Goes out and wins a championship again. He is a bad mofo, let me tell you. So,
I question, what are they going to do with the dragster?
I don't know. I didn't ask about that. I really need to hit up Rick and go, what are you doing? Because I asked Richard, and Richard's like, oh, I don't know. I'll ask. But, Richard, he's busy with 8 million other things. They have so many bitchin' engines there, and the dragster and a bunch of other things. I'm going to have to hit up Rick and see. I don't have any money to spend, but I would love to own something from there.
They have a, FYI, they have a little wheel dragster up on, it's literally on the top of the rack. Yeah. And it's been sitting there
my understanding is, like, the motor, like, Rick bought it, and I think it ran, like, one time with the fresh motor in it and stuff, and then it never got raced again and set up on the shelf. I don't know.
That's what the Chaparral trailer that was in the parking lot forever was for. Was for the dragster.
So, but he sold that a couple years
ago. He gave that trailer to that one guy. He had to come down and get it and put wheels and tires on.
Oh, okay.
The trailer's gone.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know the trailer's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, Rick gave it away because he got tired of putting tires on it because he kept stealing them.
Yeah. And then it sat for like 2 years just on jack stands, but
Damn.
Yeah. All right, boys. We gotta pull it.
We've officially made it over 2 hours.
Do what?
Yeah.
We've officially made it over 2 hours.
Oh my God, we have. Yeah. I have to pack. I gotta catch a flight in the morning and go live stream a race. So in London, Kentucky. So yeah.
Kentucky.
Which I think is not this big.
A little smaller. It's in the Davy Boone National Forest.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, it won't be humid or anything.
What did you do?
That actually looks really, really, really good. Note the dot in the middle of it. That's where I poked the second hole through it with a needle and a torch. I smashed it last weekend in Bakersfield between a Pelican case that weighs 60 pounds and the side of a scissor lift at all of it. And it actually got both
Oh.
of these fingers too, but it smashed this one so bad that these two, I mean, they're tingly, but they didn't get bruised. This thing was so bad, I thought I was going to die. I mean, it turned purple in like 20 minutes. In like 4 hours, the entire nail was black, and it was just thumping. It was throbbing so bad. And I suffered for 2 days trying to get a hole in it without a torch that was right and all this. And finally, third day, I got a cracked torch lighter and needles from CVS, and I was able to, with one hand, torch the thing. And when I poked a hole in it, it shot blood a foot across the desk in the hotel room. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. And I just sat there squeezing stuff out of it. It was nasty in it.
Just use a tiny little drill bit. That's what I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
That's
carry
what
one
I
of those around with me all the time, Wickman. Yeah. I didn't have anything. I'm on the road. I'm in Bakersfield. I go, torch, Stinger needles, and CVS for $5.
Well, at least you
Note to self: put drill bit in makeup kit.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
At least you didn't get your hand stuck on scaffold.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't need to add any more to the Bang Shift warranty card that we have to hang up.
Yeah.
It didn't fall off the damn thing.
Yeah, because I'm not an uncoordinated idiot. So yeah. I mean, the fact that he didn't die is amazing. I mean, it really is. I mean, Loans fell. I mean, let's see. From where his feet were to the ground was probably 8.5 to 9.5 feet, and he landed like on his side and his face hit the mud and buried his hat like it was at an angle like this. And he was from his hat bill to the asphalt was probably 18 inches or less. I mean, it was too close for comfort.
Chad, I just realized all three of us now have been injured doing anything with a lift.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You mangled your hand. Loans impaled his.
Oh yeah.
And I fell off and then bounced off the corner of the Imperial and strained my lower lumbar.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
didn't notice I was laying on the ground for 2 hours.
Right.
First fucking day at work.
I was I see, and I used to climb up and down. Me and Dustin, when we used to have the scissor lifts at Bakersfield, it would be all the way up, like at 15 feet in the air, running the camera, and I would climb off of it while it was all the way up in the air all the time. Like you just climb down the braces of the scissors.
No.
Well, all the time, dude. We used to climb up and down that thing. I mean, like 15 or 20 times in a weekend that way.
What was crazy is like seeing Matt at like Houston Raceway Park when they would do the DX2K. Matt's in like in a 35 or 48 foot all terrain down by the tower, or I mean not tower, but the finish line.
Yeah,
and he's like eye level with the scoreboard.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, and then there was like, of course, that's all flat and it get windy out there, and that thing started swaying on one year, and he about shit himself. Like, no, I can't do this. I can't.
Oh, McTaggart, I'd get on the scissor lift and do this, and McTaggart's like, stop. I mean, he's threatening to throw me off.
3 times I about threw your ass off that scissor.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. And I used to use a big boom lift at Tulsa. And you could put that thing all the way out over the racetrack, and which I would do every once in a while. And then what was funny though is people would climb up onto the tires and then up onto the unit, and they would get partway out on the boom and start bouncing on it. And dude, the bucket on the end would bounce. I mean, 2 feet. It was. Yeah, it was sketchy. You were trying to hold on to all the gear, you know.
Yeah, that's your Tulsa story. I sank that fucker in the mud out there.
That's true. You did. Yes. Yeah.
McTaggart, you act like you have something to live for.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies.
Oh, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you guys. Crosby, Wickman, McT, thank you so much. I got to go pack
stuff. You guys have a great weekend.
Have fun going to London.
See you all soon.
Do what?
Have fun going to London. Chip, chip, cheerio. Bring back some fish and chips and shit.
Wrong London.
Yeah, there
I'm
you
gonna go into the first restaurant and ask for fish and chips. I guarantee you they don't hear that like all the time. It'll be fine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
All right.
All
See
right,
y'all
peace
later.
out.
Not
Real.
everybody.
See ya.